Hey guys, welcome to Series World. Today I'm going to explain a romantic drama series called Playing with Fire from 2019. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The last episode opens with Camila asking for forgiveness from Peter. Peter is heartbroken and can't believe that Camila could do this to him. He brings out Camila's stuff and tells her that he gave her everything she ever wanted. He even gave her a son, and she still did this to him. The scene changes to Jorge, who wakes up in the morning and sees that Martina is not beside him. Meanwhile, Martina is sleeping, and her dad is watching over her. Andrea is also asleep beside Martina. The housekeeper comes and informs Martina's dad that the commander has come to meet with him. Back to Peter, he's meeting with Dolores. He gives her the money they promised, and Dolores gives back the USB. Peter tells her not to come near them ever again and to warn Fabrizio too. Back to the commander, he's now meeting with Martina's dad. The commander informs him that they tapped Jorge's phone and recorded a suspicious call where he's asking someone to kill Fabrizio Ramirez. The scene changes back to Peter and Camila. Camila is telling him sorry, but Peter is heartbroken. Camila tells him that there is nothing serious between her and Fabrizio. Peter gets furious hearing this and asks her to read all the messages in the USB to him loudly. Camila starts reading, but Peter tells her to feel what she wrote more emotionally and think about who she betrayed. Peter forces Camila to continue reading. She reads the part where she tells Fabrizio that he is her real man. Peter asks her what he is if Fabrizio is her real man. He did everything for her and dedicated his life to her, and still, she chose to betray him. He then tells her that maybe it won't happen again if she marks her. He then holds his engagement ring on top of the fire and starts approaching Camila to mark her face with the burning ring. But he doesn't hurt her. Instead, he puts the engagement ring in front of her and starts leaving. Camila tells him that he's someone who believes in giving second chances, but to him, this is way more than burning clothes. The scene changes to Hildardo and Eliseo going to Fabrizio's house looking for Poncho, but they can't find Poncho anywhere. Hildardo and Eliseo start arguing about it while Poncho is near the river. He looks tense and he's calling someone. The scene cuts to Martina's dad, who has gone to the field to talk with Jorge. He asks Jorge about the recorded voice message the police got. Jorge denies it at first, saying, "It's fake and everything." But Martina's dad informs him that he knows about the affair between Fabrizio and Martina. Jorge loses control hearing him say this. Martina's dad tells him that no matter what kind of affair she had with Fabrizio, this doesn't justify Jorge killing him. He also adds that he'll testify against Jorge to the police. Jorge then gets furious and starts badmouthing Martina. Martina's dad gets angry and comes at him but starts having a heart attack. Martina's dad fell on the field. Jorge at first tries to see what happened to him, but Martina's dad dies after telling Jorge that he'll never have these lands. The scene changes to Martina's dad's funeral. Peter is talking with Jorge. He tells him that Andrea gave a splendid speech. Jorge also agrees. Peter then asks him about Fabrizio and tells him that he needs to settle things with Fabrizio regarding their wives. Jorge finally tells him that Fabrizio is already dead. Peter shakes his hand hearing this. The commander also arrives at the funeral with his officer. He reminds the officer of his job and goes on to talk with Jorge. The commander asks Jorge whether Martina's dad said anything about a call recording to him. Meanwhile, Martina is sitting in the jeep, and Mateo comes up and gives her Thiago's note. In the note, Thiago warns Martina that Jorge is a monster, and he killed Fabrizio out of jealousy after knowing about their affair. Jorge takes the commander inside his office and offers him money. The commander takes the money and tells him that the case is now closed. Andrea is talking with Mari Carmen at the party when Poncho calls her. Poncho tells her that her dad is lying and she needs to meet with him now. He's at the hanging bridge waiting for her. Meanwhile, Gildardo overhears Andrea's conversation with Poncho and starts following them with Eliseo. The scene cuts to Dolores. She goes inside the pub and starts talking with Hilario. Dolores is in stress. She tells Hilario that she can't get a hold of Fabrizio or Poncho for days. Moreover, their co-worker has also told her that they're missing work. Dolores can sense that something is very wrong. The scene changes to Andrea coming to meet with Poncho. Poncho comes running after seeing her. He hugs her and starts crying. Meanwhile, Gildardo and Eliseo are seeing all of this from the bridge. Poncho tells Andrea that Fabrizio was murdered. Andrea can't believe her ears and asks who did it. Poncho tells her that it was none other than her dad. Andrea tells him that they should go to the police. Poncho reminds her that her dad owns the police. They killed Fabrizio and they're now after him. He then tells her that Fabrizio would have never left her. He loved her dearly. Andrea tells him that Fabrizio also loved her mom and Camila. Poncho tells her that that was not real love and she knows that herself too. He then hugs her lastly, kisses her on the forehead, and starts leaving. While he's leaving, Eliseo starts shooting him from the bridge. Gildardo stops him because Andrea can get hit too. Andrea jumps in front of Poncho and tells Eliseo to kill her instead. Eliseo still points his gun at her when Gildardo makes him stop. He then looks at Andrea and tells her that he could never hurt her, and he loves her. Meanwhile, Jorge comes to his office and finds everything scattered. He calls for Luisa, demanding an answer, and Martina enters the room. She tells him that she did all of this. Martina knows that Jorge killed Fabrizio. Jorge pretends that he doesn't even know Fabrizio. He further adds that Martina's medication is making her go crazy. Moreover, Martina's dad might have died because he worries about her so much. Jorge then informs her that her dad came to the plantation to visit him asking for help. Martina is disgusted by Jorge's lies, but he continues talking nonsense. Martina then reveals to him that she has found Fabrizio's wallet in his drawer. Jorge takes the wallet from Martina's hand and throws it away. Martina points a gun at him and tells him that she never loved Fabrizio. It was just that she was in so much pain living with Jorge, who treated her like a doll and made her feel valueless, that she jumped on Fabrizio without thinking anything. She then threatens Jorge that now things have changed, and she's going to tell the police everything. A gunshot is then heard, and Luisa runs into the room. Jorge tells Luisa that Martina has gone out of control and they need to take her to the hospital. The ambulance then comes and takes Martina away. Meanwhile, Gildardo calls Jorge. Jorge asks him where Andrea is. Gildardo informs him that Andrea is with Mari Carmen and she'll return by evening or tomorrow morning. Jorge is happy to hear that everything is okay, and he tells Gildardo to take better care of Andrea as he can't lose any more than this. Gildardo assures her and cuts the call. After he's done, Eliseo tells him that he's out of this. Moreover, he'll kill both Andrea and Poncho because he can't afford to go to jail because of them. Gildardo starts arguing with him, and Eliseo points his gun at him. Gildardo manages to calm him down, but he shoots Eliseo when he turns around. After that, Gildardo rolls Eliseo's body down the hill. The scene changes to Andrea, who's crying in Fabrizio's house. She's reminiscing about the time she spent with Fabrizio in this house. Andrea then calls Jorge and asks him to meet her at the old lookout. Jorge agrees to meet there. The scene cuts to Peter and Camila as they're having coffee. Peter gives Camila the DNA test results of Diego and asks her to see it. Camila begs him to fulfill her one last request. If Diego is his son, then they'll forget everything that happened and will live as a family together. Otherwise, Camila promises that she'll leave this house in one cloth and he'll never see them again. Camila then tells Peter to open the envelope. Back to Andrea. Jorge has come to meet with her. Andrea tells him that Martina is also his victim. Jorge is confused, and Andrea explains that she heard from Luisa that Jorge sent Martina to the hospital. Andrea then stands up to him and starts walking towards him. Jorge keeps backing down. Andrea tells him that he never loved Martina. Martina needed love, affection, and a partner like she does, but he never did that for her. Jorge is confused and says that he did everything for them. Andrea then takes his hand and puts it on top of her belly. She then tells him that she's carrying Fabrizio's child, and he killed the father of her child. Andrea starts coming forward, and that's when Jorge falls off the hill. The scene cuts to Andrea holding dead Jorge in her arms. Meanwhile, Poncho has gone to meet with Dolores. Dolores can sense that it's about Fabrizio. She starts sobbing and tells him that a fortune teller friend of hers told her that Fabrizio would be a wonderful man, but bad luck would happen to him when he falls in love. Dolores asks him whether he fell in love, and he confirms. Dolores continues crying and begs Poncho to tell Fabrizio to come back to her if he ever sees him anywhere in his life. Poncho replies that he doesn't think he'll ever meet Fabrizio again. Dolores still tells Poncho to tell Fabrizio that she loves him, and she'll always wait for him to come back to her. Poncho assures her that he will tell him and leaves after hugging Dolores. The scene cuts to Peter playing with Diego. Peter asks Camila to join them too. Camila tells Peter that she loves him. Peter replies that he loves her too. Meanwhile, Hilario says goodbye to Dolores and she gets up on a bus. Hilario gets a pendant from Dolores as a keepsake. Gildardo is now seen being taken away by the police, and Andrea and Poncho are watching him. Time goes by. Andrea is now seen walking around her house and calling for someone named Fabrizio. Little Fabrizio jumps out of the corner and scares her. The episode ends with Martina and Andrea playing ball with little Fabrizio. To watch more explanations of these kinds of series, click on the videos on your screen. And don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. And at last, thanks for watching.